Hey YouTube, it's ICU and welcome to the 208th episode of Best Tech Info and Rumors. Alright, to start off, I wanted to say welcome back. It's been a while since I've recorded for this series. I actually took last week off, and for good reason. I've released a plethora of videos since then covering iOS 8, as well as the iPhone 6 and iPhone 6 Plus, which I have right here. So if you happen to miss any of my videos, just be sure to check them out on my channel. You can also find them linked to down below in the more info, or you can click on my channel name that's down below and be taken to my channel and watch through the videos there. Now, to also preface, I wanted to say that I am recording using a new background, so if you like it, just be sure to let me know down below in the comment section. I'm going to be trying something somewhat new. I might switch it up a little bit here and there too, so again, just be sure to let me know your thoughts on that. And if you're one of my new viewers since the release of the iPhone 6 and 6 Plus, just be sure to check out the last episode of Best Tech Info and Rumors. Of course, I will have that linked to below as well. And with that said, let's go ahead and start off. I'm going to kind of go over this week's episode off the top of my head, so please excuse me and bear with me on this video. So starting off, last Wednesday, iOS 8 was released to the general public. It was actually on September 17th, and following the release of iOS 8, I created an in-depth video going over the current status of the iOS 8 Untethered jailbreak and its development. If you happen to miss that, of course, you can find it on my channel or linked to below, and I really recommend watching that before watching this video or any of the subsequent jailbreak update videos I've posted since iOS 8's release. Now, with that said, also following the release of 8.0, I created a video going over 8 of my top favorite apps specifically dedicated for iOS 8. They have been updated to make use of the new APIs that Apple has made available to developers. So in that video, you'll find apps that make use of Touch ID for securing information. And of course, keep in mind that all third-party apps that utilize Touch ID actually don't have access to any of the information that's encrypted and stored locally on a portion of either the A7 or A8 chip called the Secure Enclave. Beyond that, the apps detailed also have notification center widgets, enable third-party keyboards, and so much more. So again, I really recommend watching through that video if you happen to miss it. And then following that, I did create an in-depth unboxing and overview video of the iPhone 6 and the iPhone 6 Plus. Not only this one, which is actually a space gray 128GB iPhone 6 Plus, but also a gold one and just a regular silver iPhone 6. Now, only the iPhone 6 Plus in space gray is mine. The other two belong to family members that I actually unboxed on video for you guys. And in that video, I also announced that I am actually holding an iPhone 6 giveaway. If you missed that, be sure to watch it for instructions on how to enter to win, or stay tuned toward the end of this video. I will provide additional instructions there as well. And then following that one, I took the iPhone 6 and the iPhone 6 Plus's cameras for a test, compared them, and reviewed them in depth. I also highlighted some of the cool new features of the iPhone 6 and 6 Plus's 8-megapixel iSight camera. And even though it is 8 megapixels like its predecessor and like the iPhone 5, it does feature something pretty unique. Actually, a few things unique, but the most notable of which, at least for me, is Apple's all-new focus pixel technology, which makes shots absolutely incredible. You're able to focus near instantly between various things in the foreground and background. Also, on the iPhone 6 Plus, it features what's called optical image stabilization, where the hardware works in conjunction with the software to provide a more seamless and shakeless video than on the iPhone 6, which merely uses digital image stabilization. It really works, but even so, I find the focus pixel technology the main selling point of both of the cameras found on the iPhone 6 and the iPhone 6 Plus. And then of course, following that video, I posted my in-depth comparison between both of the devices, where I highlight all of the features, the similarities, and the differences, and you might actually be surprised. Now, personally, I prefer the iPhone 6 Plus, and for my reasoning behind that, I do recommend watching that video in its entirety. It really is a great video, and I spent quite a bit of time working on it. It actually took me 3 days to complete, and all of the detailed analysis and information found in that video may aid you in your decision as to which iPhone model you'd be interested in purchasing. And now, finally, let's talk about something that I've received quite a few questions about, and that's whether or not the iPhone 6 Plus bends. Now, initially, I was going to cite a few sources for this and discuss some various information surrounding it. However, following the publication of ConsumerReports findings, I decided to most mostly focus on that. But before we get into that, Apple actually published something on their own stating that only 9 customers have actually complained about the bending on the iPhone 6 Plus, and it's almost certain that the majority of these complaints originated following the publication of the video that ignited all of this iPhone 6 Plus and Apple propaganda. In fact, the iPhone 6 Plus is actually reinforced with either a steel or titanium insert, according to Apple at least. And now let's go on to ConsumerReports findings. So they actually performed something scientific, surprisingly, unlike any of the previous reports. They performed what's called or referred to as a 3-point flexural test, in which they take the device or devices, because they tested more than just the iPhone 6 and 6 Plus, they secure it at 2 points, being the end points, the bottom and the top, and they actually exert pressure or force on the device in the middle or at a 3rd point. And then following that, they determine the amount of pressure it takes for the device to actually bend. Now, interestingly enough, and contrary to popular belief, the iPhone 6 Plus actually holds up better than its smaller 4.7-inch counterpart, the iPhone 6. And when you think about it, that actually makes sense, especially considering the titanium and or steel insert that the device features. It does have a larger surface area, which means that the force will be able to be dissipated across a wider range on the device itself. So let's actually look at some of the figures. So to start off, the iPhone 6 Plus actually begins to deform at about 90 pounds of pressure exerted upon it, and the screen starts to come apart from the unibody at about 110 pounds of force. And that's compared against the iPhone 6, which started to deform at only 70 pounds of pressure, so 20 less than the iPhone 6 Plus, and the screen started to come apart from the body at 100 pounds of pressure, being 10 less than the iPhone 6 Plus. And when compared against other rival devices, it actually holds up pretty well. The results for the HTC One M8 were actually the worst, even though its results mirrored those of the iPhone 6, deforming at 70 pounds and coming apart at 100 pounds. Apparently the damage was more significant or more severe on the HTC One M8 than on the iPhone 6, with again the 6 Plus holding up the best out of the 3. So finally, now we can set all of that aside. If you have the iPhone 6 Plus or you're thinking about getting it, you shouldn't worry about it bending. Under everyday or normal use, you won't bend it. That's just how it's going to be. It will be absolutely fine for you. I've been using my iPhone 6 Plus in my jeans pocket for quite some time now, since its release actually on Friday. So of course it's been fine since then. It's not bent at all, as you can see. I do have a case on it, but this is actually a soft rubberized case from Apple, so it's nothing that would even really prevent against significant pressure being exerted on the device itself. And again, it has held up perfectly. So I really do recommend the iPhone 6 Plus for those of you thinking about getting it. And if you're still on the fence, again, just be sure to watch through my in-depth review and comparison between the device and its smaller counterpart. And now that we can set that aside and put it to rest once and for all, let's talk about iOS 8, more specifically iOS 8.0.1, which actually was released to users at least for about an hour. Now, there has been some controversy about this. A lot of people actually don't believe that it was released because they weren't there when Apple was seeding 8.0.1, because it was then recalled. But first, let's talk about some of the new features 8.0.1 planned to introduce to the public. So first of all, it was supposed to fix an issue that prevented developers from integrating their apps into HealthKit, and then it also corrected various bugs affecting reachability, photo library, third-party keyboards, videos playing through Safari, MMS and SMS messages, and more. However, after updating to 8.0.1, a countless number of users encountered various issues related to cellular connectivity and Touch ID support. So primarily iPhone 6 and 6 Plus owners were affected. Shortly after its release, about 1 hour, Apple recalled the firmware, and then they only seeded 8.0 until the next day, when they actually seeded 8.0.2 to the public, which included all of the aforementioned fixes as well as corrected the bugs that 8.0.1 itself introduced, again being the ones that affected Touch ID and connectivity. But let's go back to 8.0.1 really quick. I did create an in-depth video going over not only the firmware itself, but also some of the more recent jailbreak developments. And of course, following 8.0.2's release, I created a second or a subsequent video that discussed that updated firmware, as well as kind of recapped some of the information that was discussed in the aforementioned 8.0.1 video. And if you missed either of them and you own any device on iOS 8, whether it's the iPhone 6 or 6 Plus, or even an older device like the iPhone 4S or the iPad 2, then just be sure to check out those videos, because again, I go over all of the latest related to jailbreaking. But really quick in this video, I'm going to kind of summarize some of the newer information. So essentially, now that 8.0.2, as well as the iPhone 6 and the iPhone 6 Plus are all out and available to the public, the main developers on the jailbreak scene, being both Pangu and the evaders, can now set to work applying what they've discovered thus far to the creation of new jailbreak utilities. Moreover, we will receive a utility sooner this year than in years past, and the primary reason for that is because Pangu is racing against the evaders to be the first to jailbreak iOS 8 and now 8.0.2, and possibly subsequent minor firmware releases that precede the release of any eventual jailbreak utility. And the reason Pangu is so adamant about being first is because they're actually financed by a third-party Chinese company with other monetary interests in jailbreaking. So yes, they are being paid to create a jailbreak utility. Moreover, other Chinese teams are also likely racing for a release, as famed hacker Stefan Esser, commonly referred to by his online handle of Ionic, initially confirmed the next Untethered jailbreak. At the time, Evasion 7 was patched by the release of 7.1, would be born from Chinese origins. And of course, following that prediction, Pangu was released from the Chinese-based Pangu dev team. So now we can expect Pangu, the evaders, or possibly another team to release an all-new Untethered jailbreak utility. Of course, I will keep you guys completely updated of its development status along the way. If you aren't subscribed to me yet and you're watching this video on its main page, just be sure to click my channel name down below and hit that subscribe button to be notified every time I release new videos. And also, if you guys are interested in possibly winning my iPhone 6 giveaway, just be sure to rate this video up and leave a relevant comment down below in the comment section. Once you've done that, download Free App Life by visiting bit.ly/getfreeapplife or freeapplife.com inside of mobile Safari. And then after hitting download, press the home button, open the app, and if you're on iOS 8, download the temporary secure profile, which is strictly used for associating your device with its proper account in a more secure manner on the latest firmware. It's never even installed on your device, as it's immediately deleted once your account has either been created or reassociated. After that, simply download sponsored apps for points and refer friends. Each download and each referral counts as one entry. Points can then be used for various prizes, including paid apps, gift cards, and electronic devices. Alright, that's it for this video. Again, I hope you guys liked it. Let me know what you think about this new background and filming style down below in the comment section. And if you don't know what to leave for the question of the day, let me know what you guys think about the iPhone 6 or the iPhone 6 Plus and which device you prefer and why. Or you can leave it on Best Tech Info. And if you want to be updated more often, such as when I release new videos like this one covering jailbreaking iOS 8, the iPhone 6, the iPhone 6 Plus, the forthcoming Apple Watch, or really anything related to Apple, just be sure to like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter, add me one of your circles inside of Google+, follow me on Instagram at ICUID, and subscribe to my secondary YouTube channel at youtube.com/ICUID. And until next time, this is ICU, signing out.